Hi and welcome back. This is video blog number 4, On versus In, and today we're talking about what to work on in your business around marketing and sales. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to kick off with a distinction between building your sales process and having marketing work for you. Okay, they're quite separate functions, and a lot of people don't really understand the difference between sales and marketing. So what I'm going to kick off with is, there's a guy in the US, Neil Rackham. He wrote a book called, he researched and wrote a whole lot of material around spin selling. One of the things they discovered that from a standing start, where there is no brand presence or recognition with the audience and your business, to a yes, getting a sale and a significant purchasing decision, requires 5 steps in the process. Okay, and I'll just elaborate on that a little bit more. So, client out there in the marketplace comes across your material somewhere and makes an inquiry. Okay. And let's just say they find you on the internet, find a net site, and they go, okay, yep, I'm interested. And they make an inquiry. Come through your net site, bang, they're into your sales process. So they're out there in the marketplace, on versus in. They're out there in the marketplace, and a need pops up, or they have kind of a need in the back of their mind, but they're not really fully present to it. They're just observing, looking around, seeing what's out there. It could be big screen, flat screen TV, could be a new car, could be a business advisor like myself, could be anything that they're looking for. And what happens? So they find an internet site and they land in your sales process. Now here's you, salesperson, at the end of the sale, with the client in mind, with the client saying yes. Okay, so the client's walked through the sales process. They've gone through 5 steps in the process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the purpose of the 5-step process, or what Neil Rackham discovered, was that as the prospective purchaser went through the sales process, they became more and more engaged in the offer. Okay, so each step in the process leads to a higher level of engagement. Now, one of these steps might be initial inquiry, right? Inquiry, phone call. Now, in my instance, I'll actually call the customer back and I'll actually book a time and say, okay, well, before I come out and see you, can I spend some time on the phone and just get an understanding of your business and what you're all about, what you're dealing with right now, those sorts of things. And so that might be the second step, might be a meeting, initial meeting, for argument's sake. Let's just say you're trying to buy a car, you might browse the car yards and you might see a sign. So this centre of influence being the internet site could also be a billboard, or it could be a sign, or it could be a social media forum. Do you get what I'm talking about? So you can actually automate your marketing and your centres of influence. So where I'm going with this is that marketing and sales are just systems like every other system in your business, and you need to build a sales process should you choose to accept, and marketing material and structure to engage your audience in your brand. Because when you do that, what happens is the customer comes out of the market and lands in step number 2 or 3 because they're more engaged, or they're already more engaged in your business and in your offer. As a client goes through your sales process, they build engagement by virtue of how you lead them through the process. So what I'm talking about is, rather than selling being about telling, there are some skills you can learn around what questions you can ask to build engagement, so that the customer shifts from just identifying with your offer to actually desiring to purchase or seriously considering buying your product. So, questions, interview, you might have a quote, and then you might, I don't know what your sales process looks like, but every sales process is different. They have this similar themes in them, but the most important thing is to actually build your sales process and understand the difference between the sales process and marketing. So this is sales over here, and okay. So the purpose of your sales process is to build engagement with a prospective buyer. The purpose of your marketing systems is to build a background of relatedness or brand equity with your audience, so your audience actually considers purchasing from you, or you as a viable option to purchase from. And then in here we've got there's another little piece which is centres of influence, and this is where all the leverage is. And this is the most underutilised part or component in selling. Okay, and what I mean by that is a centre of influence could be, let's just say, an accountant and a lawyer, for argument's sake, or an accountant and a lawyer insurance broker. They could potentially share prospective clients. They could form partnerships, those sorts of things. I've been recently talking with a real estate agent and a furniture importer and distributor, because they're both talking to people, a commercial leasing agent, and they're both talking to the same potential customers. So the thing about it is, if you get this right, you build your sales process, you understand marketing and how to actually build relatedness with your audience, then what you can do is you can build and nurture centres of influence, and that'll drive sufficient lead flow into your pipe, into your business. So more leads times more conversion equals more sales. So systemise getting more leads into the business, work on your conversion through your sales process, and you'll have more sales coming into the business. Thank you. Talk to you next time.